What is up, all my chill gamers? I'm finally back making some videos here. We actually reached over 100 videos. I'm really proud of it. Took a long time. I actually took a long break, guys, like 6-7 months, because I feel like, I was working too hard. I just want to come home, play my games, and not worry about making content too much, because working hard and making content is kind of like two jobs. Everybody knows this, especially if you're only doing it by yourself. It's kind of crazy. But I will say this, in the last 2 months, almost 2 months, we did a few episodes of the Gaming Hour podcast. It's officially back in full swing. However, we try to do it every weekend, but, due to 4 people with me included, our schedules are all over the place. So we try to do every weekend, every other weekend. I know sometimes in March, we actually missed 3 weeks because everybody's schedules is crazy. But yeah, we're back, guys. So it's usually going live every weekend, Saturday or Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys might want to check it out. I'll leave the link in the description box. One we did last week. It's April 12th? April 15th today. Man, see, the days are going by, guys. So it's April 15th, 1 week ago, April 8th or 7th, whatever it was, a Saturday. We did it. Guys, go check that out. So today, I want to talk about Hellblade 2 being 30 FPS. Now, it's not going to be that, I'm not going to knock Xbox or anything like that. What I'm just going to say is today, it's a non-scripted, obviously. It's just my opinion, and it's really from the heart and my mind, right? So, before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody for coming back in to watch, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you're new to the channel, it really does help the channel grow, guys. So I really appreciate that. Now, I'm going to show some clips here from Doc Dark 1985 because I feel like I understand where he's coming from. Right? For the longest time, for like 3 years, on and off, here and there, I told him, even his buddy told him, ISO probably told him, a few other people, get a PC. Now I know it's a big investment. It really is. 900 to 2,000, 3, 4, 5,000. That's a really big, heavy investment. So you really have to know what you're getting into. And I would say do your homework, do your due diligence, know how to run a PC and update your drivers and all that stuff in between before you even get a PC, because this way you're not kind of like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. It's not working. It's like, I don't, just understand what you're getting into and make sure you have friends or family that can help you with PCs if you don't know anything about it. Anyway, so I would say almost a year. Right. And I could be wrong about this because, again, I just didn't care to really look into it because it's not really my thing to do. But I will say this. Xbox or Microsoft Xbox, whatever the hell you want to call it, released games in 30 FPS only on launch day. Now, that doesn't mean that they didn't fix it later on to 60, but I'm just saying. My PlayStation 5, and yes, I too have a PC, so I shouldn't be in these console war conversations. It's not really a console war conversation. It's really gamers and consumers buying into things that people lie or maybe don't really. They kind of like push it out of the way. Yeah, it's there. It's the most powerful console in the world. I don't think so. On paper, you can say that out loud, but in reality, it's not. To me, it's not. One, PlayStation 5 this generation. Yes. I will say, I don't know why they're sticking to single players only for a long time. I wish they mix up to a different variety of kind of games styles. You know what I mean? Like, co-op shooters or fighters. Mix it up. But anyway, we've been getting games with a performance mode at 60. Now, some of them came out with a little bit below 60, but they finally fixed it to 60, right? But we have the option to have a performance mode, right? And I just don't understand, like Halo Infinite came out, it was great, people liked it. I enjoyed it for a little bit of the time I played with it, over a day or 2 days I altogether had into it. Gears 5, I would rather play that over Halo, Forza Horizon 5, cool game, racing game. If you haven't played it, go check it out. It's a decent racer. But now, what has the Xbox Series X and S this generation done for you besides Game Pass? Because that's all it really is. That's all the talking points are nowadays on Xbox platforms or ecosystem. Game Pass, Game Pass. It's not really the games coming out. It's really just Game Pass. Yes, you have a plethora of games. You know, PlayStation Plus has that stuff too. But I would say one or the other. I think Doc is on to something here. Is that the ecosystem is there? They are really smart about that, man. I think that's the smartest move Xbox people made, is because now you don't even need an Xbox console, which is kind of crazy because now you're kind of like kicking to the curb the console guys or ladies. You're kicking them to a side outside in the rain, making them stay out and let them get soaking wet out there in the rain. You're forgetting about your console. And I think that's messed up. You know, we already know their deal. They want to be on a mobile platform because there's billions of people. Like, we understand. Like, we're not. It's all about money. I don't even care. I'm talking about gaming, man. Now, I'm gonna switch up to Doc Dark. Let his give his insight, and then we're gonna rebuttal just a little bit. It's not really a rebuttal. It's like, I understand where he's coming from. Situation. You know what I mean? So let's switch it up to Doc and see what he has to say.
Now frames don't matter, because I am now on the platform where I get to choose exactly how much frames matter, and I get to place money behind it, and I don't have to worry about somebody else lying to me, telling me this is going to perform this way, and then it doesn't perform that way. It is what it is. I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to do it though. I didn't want to do it, but I listened to your advice. At some point, I got to grow up and realize, like, hey, if I'm not getting what I want from this, I got to move on and go somewhere else. But Phil said we're all Xbox gamers. And man, let me tell you, bro, he's a genius. He's a genius. I disconnected my Xbox Series X, but on Microsoft end, and nothing changes. I'm still paying my $15 a month. They still see me logging into Xbox. They still haven't seen me playing games on Game Pass. Literally nothing changes for them. Just the box changed. If I disconnect my PS5, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Microsoft is a genius. I just wish that they didn't have to lie to me to accomplish that. The weird civil war that I see in the Xbox community right now is between those Xbox fans that have a gaming PC and the ones that are Xbox console centric. And it's almost like, look, man, if you love playing on your Xbox console, more power to you, man. More power to you. But I'm telling you right now, okay? If you were willing to accept 30 frames per second, I hope you got yourself an S and not an X. I really do. Unless you're really using that disk drive, I hope you got yourself an S and not an X. Because there's no real big difference.
Yeah, so I agree with what he said there. You know, if it's kind of crazy because for the longest time, you know, people say, "Oh, it's 4-year-old hardware." Like, no, stop the cap, because PlayStation 5 is 4 years old as well. We have a 60 FPS mode. Now all of a sudden the narrative changed. Well, look at Hellblade, man. Hellblade is like an Unreal Engine 5 next gen. No, to me, it's a glorified tech demo that you can actually play. It might be great. But people are really missing the point. 30 FPS shouldn't be the standard at a locked situation. We need options. Do I have a Series X? No, I have a PC. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is because a few times I want to go out and buy a Series X. I was in the store, I looked, I'm like, do I need it? I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it because I have a PC. I don't need it. And they can be like, hey, Jers, well, if PlayStation sold games on day one on the PC, would you buy? I'm like, yeah, I have a PS5. I'm a double dip. That's just who I am. That ain't my fault that you can or don't do that. That's your business. My business is how I game and what I do. For example, now my boy cracked on me. He's, I played Liza P on the Game Pass, but I also played it on PlayStation. I bought it for $60 on PlayStation. He goes, why, man? It was free on game. It doesn't matter to me. I don't just stay one place. I'm all over. PlayStation, Xbox Series S. Yes, I said S. And the PC. And Doc, you're right. I hope these people really bought the Series S, because there is games I can play 60 FPS on the Series S. Yes, Liza P is 60 frames on the Series S as well. But you would think, and I totally agree with you, that having the Xbox Series X should have a performance mode regardless. Now, if Hellblade 2 couldn't do 60 FPS in 4K, simmer it down to 1440p 60. I think that's fine. It's just an option, ladies and gentlemen. It's just you don't have to do that. If you want to play 30 FPS is fine for you if you want to play it that way. But having a next gen system, which is this gen, we should have performance mode. This is the difference of last gen to this gen. You're like, well, you should have stuck with the PS4. Like, no, quiet when I speak. It's because last gen, what was it? PS4 base had what, 1.84 teraflops? No, 8 gig RAM, whatever. This generation, we have 10.23 or something like that, and GDDR6 or whatever, 16 gig RAM. Like, it's a next gen capable device. We should have at least a 60 FPS option. Options is key. When I met Doc Dark, I said that since I met him 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, around 3 years ago right now. I said options are key. This is why I got a PC. Little rhyme intended. But what I'm saying here, get a PC or get something else if you can. If you know you have financial situations that you can't, then obviously not. But what I'm saying is like, don't limit yourself to one thing. Doc Dark said he has the Rogue Ally, he has the laptop on the go, he has the Xbox Ultimate with his PC, and he has the console. Like, he is set. He's good. Okay, I'm sure he'll still play on his console. You know what I mean? He'll play on his laptop on the go. He'll play on his Rogue Ally. He'll play on PC. He didn't limit himself, and I'm glad he did that. You know, if you can afford those things over time, then by all means, check them out. But Doc, I will say this. I agree with you. Xbox are smart dudes. The Microsoft and them are smart dudes, because now they're opening up the gaming realm everywhere. PlayStation doesn't do that. And I feel like that's where PlayStation needs to start stepping their toes in the water with. Because, for example, I think PlayStation will be just fine, but they're gonna have to do something crazy, you know, to still last in the console realm. But it's because, like, people are like, well, you know, why does PlayStation have to follow Xbox? It's not about following. It's about staying afloat. You know what I mean? I think the console will sell anyway, but is that all they're gonna do? Is that all we're good for single players? Is that all we're gonna see ever? Look at Hellblade on the screen. Helldivers 2 is a phenomenal game, but there's more sales on PC than there is PlayStation. But the funny thing is, Call of Duty, you know, is everywhere. People rather play Call of Duty. I understand that this game is not for everybody. It's just, to me, it's a chaotic game. It's a lot of fun, a lot of craziness happening. I enjoy it. It's very repetitive. It's the same thing, doing it over and over, mixed up with a few different things there. They added some things over the course of a month again, which is great. They're just staying up to date with this. But this, we need more of this. We need more variety, you know? I agree with Doc Dark on everything he says. If you have a Series S, I hope you went out and buy, if you don't mind, the disc versions. You know, if you're not using disc, I mean, some people, you know, still use disc. I don't use disc. I haven't for like 8 years. I was just, you know, buying digital. It's just convenient for me. That's, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, I agree with him, is that they sold you on the most powerful console in the world, and it's really not. It's only powerful on paper. And I'm not knocking the games itself. I think there's some good looking games over there, some decent performance modes as well. But first party exclusives or first party games being built for these platforms should definitely have the best of the best options there is. When you have third party games being better performance than your first party, that's a problem. I don't know, guys. But this will do it for me. Hopefully it's not long. It's like going on 15 minutes, so hopefully it's not too long. But anyway, I'll leave Doc Dark's video in the description box below. I'll also link up the Gaming Hour podcast. You guys can check out a little later if you can. Like, share, subscribe. It'll definitely help the channel grow. And I'm kind of back with the videos, guys. I'm just gonna kind of rant, kind of make some different kind of style games videos, is because I want to come back with, you know, a good mindset here. And I'm also going to talk about what happened to me on Twitter, or X. There's a lot of crazy negativity things going over there. Anyway, guys, this will be it for me. Stay chill and happy gaming. See you all in the next one. Peace.